Welcome to NHL Puck Prop Presented by Sports Interaction. 14-year NHL vet Carlo Colaiacovo. Bud. There's no way Connor McDavid can win the Conn Smythe if he loses Game 6. People I'm all these Edmonton
It's signed, sealed, delivered. He's already won it, regardless of what
No
happens.
way. Stop that. That is
Dude, he's got
disgusting.
42 points this playoffs, man. How do you disregard that?
Game 6, that is I don't often say donkey, but that is he's not winning. You can't give the Conn Smythe away to a guy who loses in 6 games.
I understand your reasoning behind it, but how do you not give it to the guy that's breaking Wayne Gretzky records?
You do have the odds. You do have the odds in your favor, right? Like,
you know what I mean?
Minus
8
1
points in 2 games. Like, it's pretty incredible what this guy's doing, but it's a hard argument not to give it to him.
After 3 games, he didn't even have 2 points in a game, right? Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Sure, whatever.
But I mean, did we think we were going to be here? I mean,
no.
I was hoping and praying this was over yesterday or the other night.
So did I. I wanted,
you kind of wanted to put a bow on it, but now that it's got to this point,
it's scary.
Don't you think it's going to 7 now?
How valuable is coaching in this spot for Paul Maurice to settle the boys down?
Well, clearly, if you listen to his post-games messaging, he didn't want to make things worse than they already seem for Florida because as much as they were up 3-0, they didn't really feel any pressure because they had a couple of games to close this out. But now, if Bill Zito's actions after the game of him tossing a water bottle in frustration because they didn't win that game is any indication of how Florida's supposed to feel right now,
yes,
they're feeling the pressure because they're going to Bedlam back in Alberta, hopping on a 5-hour flight, flying all their family again into Edmonton. And you wonder what type of distraction that could be for the players in Edmonton or in Florida. And you would have thought yesterday would have been the bounce back game for Florida, but they came out as flat as they did. So now you start to question, okay, what's the role in the coach? Well, the role in the coach is to keep guys calm.
Yeah.
Because I can almost imagine that no guy in Florida yesterday slept well because they felt like it was a missed opportunity. I know that feeling. Like when you're this close to a series and you have this much travel involved, the last thing you want to do is fly and travel even more than you have to. So you have to think that was a massive missed opportunity. And considering the momentum that we've seen Edmonton build now, 13 goals in the last 2 games, plus they're getting their power play going right now, which is a scary, scary thing.
Yeah, they're getting big minutes too. So, and then we go to the first one here. We're back on it. We're getting plus 120. Nucci Hopkins, no point.
Oh, my God. When Janmark hit that post yesterday, I was like...
Yeah. No, but I mean, Buddy has, you said 13 goals in the last 2 games.
Yeah.
He's contributed on 1 of those, and it was 5 on 3.
Yeah.
He's he is shooting more. We were betting his under shots, not doing that anymore, but it's dodging bullets with him at plus 120. He has 1 point in the series so far. 1 point in his last 6 games. There's a lot to like on the under. We've already been playing it. And then on the other side, going Rodriguez for a point at plus 130. That's a great number. Like, he's not got a point in 1 game in this series. He's playing with Barkov. He's a stud. How do you see? I mean,
well, he's basically the guy right now that has been the consistent, right?
Yes.
In this series. So you're getting good value on that. If you look at the game that Tkachuk had, that's a positive, right? He finally had his game. And Rodriguez still found a way to chip in. And if Florida's going to win this game, they need all hands on deck. They can't rely on a Bob game. They can't rely on a Forsling Barkov game, even though those guys are important factors. To go to Edmonton right now, considering the bedlam that place is going to create with the energy, the electricity, and the fans of that city, they're going to need the secondary and third tertiary guys to step up.
Tertiary. He got it out. Tertiary. Attaboy. All right, but those are the props. Where are you on the total? 5.5, pretty much minus 110 aside. Like, everyone's probably going to want to jam the over just because the last 2 games went over. Do things tighten up?
Well, I thought the last game was going to be an under game, but because Edmonton scored a short-handed goal and because Edmonton got off to a 3-0 lead, the game opened up. And you got to think, too, in Game 6, not only is Florida going to feel the pressure because they don't want to make a mistake because it could end up at the back of their net, and the thought of maybe a Game 7 where all the momentum would be on Edmonton's side. Edmonton doesn't want to give up that goal either. So you wonder how much defense will actually be played in this game because nobody wants to make a mistake. And it's going to be, I think the difference in this game is going to be the goaltenders, right? If Bobrovsky, have you seen Bobrovsky's numbers the last 2.5 games? They're not good.
No,
like
no,
he's not,
no.
I was looking at it this morning, and so going back to the game.
What, when they're up 4-1 in game 3, when they're up 4-1 and it was 4-3. Yeah.
Yeah. When going back to that game, hang on, I'm just pulling it up quickly.
Florida's last 7 periods have not been fantastic.
So Bobrovsky, since the third period of game 3, has a .756 save percentage and a 6.43 goals against average. That's the regular season Bobrovsky 2 years ago.
I know that's the Bobrovsky that I had when he was 100-1 Conn Smythe last year that I saw in the beginning of the series versus Vegas. But that's where it is. Like he makes highlight reel saves. At the end of the day, he's like a 9-12 save percentage goalie. He's he makes $9 million, but he's not a top 2 goalie in all of hockey. Stuart Skinner, also not a top 2 goalie. If you're leaning, I do like the over, but I think it's just a super square play just because we've seen so many goals in the last 2 games. And like you said, could be tight. And the only reason that game early went over was because of the game script just went one-sided immediately, and it was just chase. So let's go Nucci, no points, staying on it. Let's go Rodriguez. Rodriguez is like when we were running like Nichushkin, like that's like where this kind of winger is, right? Like he's not the size, but like just fits in, put him in a top 6 role. Oh, top 6.
Finding a way. Yeah.
100%. No, he's a valuable piece. Like I haven't seen much of Verhaeghe either. So let's get a Rodriguez point there. You're not on a side, eh? It's a tough one to predict.
If I'm on a side, it's Edmonton. Like they've got all the momentum right now. Okay. I mean, how do you bet against McDavid? And the scary part is, Jingles, as good as McDavid has been the last 2 games, Draisaitl hasn't even showed up in this series yet.
Yeah.
If he does, with 2 games left, we're talking about one of the greatest comebacks in NHL history, potentially. That's the scary part in all this.
Connor McDavid wins Conn Smythe and loses game 6. I'm quitting hockey in general. I will never watch another game. Yeah. That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. If he wins, I'll lose my mind if he does that. Nobody deserves to win a Conn Smythe 6 games. 7 games? Yes. No problem. 6? I don't think so. But yeah, everyone's on your side. Everyone is like, it's a lock.
Yeah. So we'll see how this plays out.
All right, bud. Let's one more time. This could be the last time, bud. We keep saying that.
Could be. But at this sense, might as well plan a game 7 because it kind of feels like that's where it's heading. So maybe we will see each other another time. Yeah. All right. Let's run that back then. This is NHL Puck Prop presented by Sports Interaction Covers. See you. Game 7. Oh, it's coming. Game 7's coming. Have yourself a great weekend, buddy.